supercell thunderstorm producing golf ball-sized hail has matured ahead of you and is coming right at you from the west. Do you take the dirt road south that seems a little risky, or do you wait for the next paved road south, which could be miles away? Decisions like these led to many headaches for me this year, and in this video I will be discussing the many mistakes I made in my first official year storm chasing. The commute is always the biggest headache for storm chasers. On big tornado outbreak days with tempting predictions for crazy weather, chaser traffic ruins just about any opportunity you have to view a storm unless you gamble on the lesser used roads. Dirt roads can seem like a good escape from the parking lots, but even a drizzle could bring a solid dirt road to a slimy, sticky mud, impossible to escape even in off-road vehicles. Dirt roads are also poorly mapped, and on several occasions Google Maps would continue me down a dirt road that had a clear dead end. In situations where you are not in harm's way, I would recommend paved roads in almost every circumstance, especially if you're chasing in a car that was too cool for traction control or four-wheel drive. Dirt roads can also shake your camera and ruin your footage, so if you're serious about storm chasing, I recommend investing in equipment that'll pay you back someday. I purchased a Nikon D5300 DSLR camera with vibration reduction technology, and it's made all of my driving shots thousands of times better. A couple of lenses can basically guarantee you'll have a good shot, as long as the tornado's somewhere on the horizon. Expensive camera equipment is useless, however, if you don't know how to work it. As much as I love Nikon cameras and lenses, the autofocus is next to useless. So I've been forced to focus my shots manually, which means any mistake can ruin hours of footage. And it did. Back in time on this channel, you will find that most of my footage from the El Reno hailstorm is extremely out of focus, and one little bump in the car caused that. Always check your focus just before pressing that record button, and for safety you may want to check in on it every once in a while it's filming. Or just get a Canon and use their autofocus. Little Birdie told me it's quite a bit more responsive. If muddy roads and autofocus were the only hazards to storm chasers, I'd bet a lot more people would be willing to go out and join the hundreds of storm chasers each year. But don't forget that you still have several forces in nature willing to strike you down if you dare disturb them. Violent tornadoes, intense lightning, and large hail can all threaten you. Several times in 2022, I was forced to play cat and mouse with these forces in nature to avoid ruining a car I deeply cherish. Might be a good idea to trade in for something I'm not afraid to get dirty someday. Regardless, when you start to see small hail hitting the ground, it dawns on you that large hail probably isn't too far away, and hightailing it out of there seems like the best option. However, high winds ready to blow you off the road are waiting just ahead. The best way to avoid this situation is to put yourself in a better position to begin with. The 70+ mile-an-hour straight line winds were not exactly fun to drive through, and I sure let the audience know. I'll mute it though, for the little ones out there. Positioning in front of a supercell or tornado is a precise activity, and staying well clear of the tornado's path is important. However, if the tornado decides to turn right at you, decisions have to be made, and fast. After a rain-wrapped tornado barreled at me not far from Sulphur Springs, Texas, many chasers did the same thing as me. Flee. And fast. Being weather aware and keeping a close eye on the radar will help you notice these changes in structure or movement that might not be visible because of trees, or rain, or just about anything else. Being aware of your surroundings doesn't just include the weather. Being courteous and safe while storm chasing helps the whole community out. I would highly recommend pulling completely off the road when you're trying to get a good shot of a tornado, so that other chasers flying behind you at 60 miles an hour don't ruin your day, or your life. Being courteous also means turning off your bright strobe lights in the dark, so you don't blind the people around you. But in my opinion, the most important part of storm chasing is to try to enjoy yourself. Despite all the headaches I had this year, I managed to make the best of some bad situations, and it would be a shame to drive hundreds of miles and waste hours of time just to give up and head home sad. Chasing tornadoes isn't for everyone. With all the hazards and annoyances associated with it, you have to be committed and optimistic, while also being cautious. 2023 will certainly serve as a test to see if I've really learned some lessons from my first year storm chasing.
It's DW's adult video.